What's good, people? This is Dr. Angela, everyone's favorite OBGYN, and I would like to officially welcome you to episode 323 of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. Today's topic is actually, it just came to me, actually. You know, I have a whole slew of topics to speak on, you know, whether it's me getting them from social media posts, email queries, things that I've seen or that I'm doing in the office. And actually, with me heading back to the OR, I just went back to the OR last week to start doing elective cases. As you all know, elective cases have been delayed with everything going on with the pandemic. But now I'm back in the OR and operating. And so my schedule's crazy because I have cases from March that I'm now able to do. But in the midst of that, I've still been booking. We're trying to book more surgery, so I've just got a slew of cases to do in the OR, so I'm going to be crazy busy. Actually, tomorrow I have 2 hysterectomies coming up. One of them will be done robotically, i.e. with the robot. I love minimally invasive surgery. It is something that I do predominantly. The other case is an open case. The uterus is much too large for me to remove with the robot, so I'm going old school, and it'll be an open case. So today's topic is hysterectomy, total versus partial. What does it all mean? One of the things that I encounter as an OBGYN is when I meet patients that have had a history of a hysterectomy, and I ask them, what kind of hysterectomy did you have? Really what I'm asking is what was removed. And I find that most women, you know, they'll say, oh, I had a partial hysterectomy, but they don't really know what that means. And oftentimes when they say it was a partial hysterectomy, they're wrong because, again, the nomenclature gets to be a little bit, you know, confusing, so to speak. So let's talk about what the word hyster means, Hyster. The word hyster means uterus. So if you say that you had a partial hysterectomy, what you're really saying to me is that you've only had your uterus removed and not your cervix. A total hysterectomy means that you've had both the uterus as well as the cervix removed. Most people don't grasp that concept, and instead what they'll say to me is I had a partial hysterectomy, meaning they left my ovaries. That's not what that means. Your ovaries are completely different organs. You can say I had a total hysterectomy and they removed my ovaries and my tubes. That would be the better way to say that. But a partial hysterectomy doesn't mean that they left your ovaries at all. And a total hysterectomy doesn't mean that they removed your ovaries. It just means they removed your uterus in total. So let me just state that again. Partial hysterectomy means that they removed the uterus and left your cervix behind. Another term for that is sometimes you'll hear us say supracervical hysterectomy. Okay, that means that we lop the uterus off right where it connects with the cervix. Total hysterectomy means that we took the uterus in its entirety along with the cervix. Got it? Perfect. So, you know, I think that a good rule of thumb when you're having surgery is just make sure that you are aware of exactly what is being removed. You know, are we taking the tubes as well? Are we taking the ovaries as well? Those are important things to know. I know for me personally, actually the 2 cases that I'm doing tomorrow, they're both women that are in their early 40s. I'm taking both uteruses in total. So I'm doing a total hysterectomy and a bilateral salpingectomy, which means that I'm removing the fallopian tubes as well. I'm actually leaving the ovaries in these women because they're still young. The ovaries are still working, and I don't want to put them into a surgical menopause. One of the reasons that we do remove the tubes these days is that we know that the precursors for ovarian cancer actually starts or originates in the fallopian tubes. So, this podcast is a little short, brief, and to the point, but I think it's really important to recognize exactly what it is that we're talking about when we're speaking about hysterectomy. So again, I don't personally like to use the terms partial and total. I just like to say exactly what it is that's removed. So did you have your entire uterus removed? Is your cervix still there? Are your tubes and ovaries still there? I prefer to speak about surgeries in that regard. Again, only because I think that total and partial are very confusing to patients and they don't really know what they're referring to. But if you choose to use that nomenclature, just remember that a total hysterectomy means that you've had your entire uterus and cervix removed. A partial hysterectomy, should you choose to use that nomenclature, means that your uterus was removed and that your cervix was left behind. Again, another way to say that is you had a supracervical. Again, that means the cervix was left behind. So I hope that this, short podcast is informative and gives you kind of some insight into what's being referred to when we're talking about hysterectomies. So that's it. So much going on in today's world. I mean, where to start? I don't know, but I'm going to close this podcast out. I'm going to say thank you so much for tuning in to today's podcast. Your continued love, support is beyond appreciated. For those of you that are new, welcome. I can be found at www.askdrangela.com. That's ASKD as in dog R, ANGELA.com. There you can sign up for my blog post. You can sign up for my podcast. You can follow me on my YouTube channel, as well as all of my social media channels, which include Instagram, Twitter, as well as Facebook. I'm going to leave you with this saying from one of my favorite books by Sandy Gingras. It's my She Went Out on a Limb book. And I actually turned right through this one today. And I thought it so fitting with everything going on. And it says, hope will carry you through even the deepest water. And I thought about that, and I thought about just me, who I am. I'm a Black woman, and Black folk have been dealing with so many things for so many years. I'm not even going to go into slavery and all the racism and oppression that occurs in the United States, not only in the past, but still present day. And it is our hope and faith, really, that has brought us this far. Thank you so much for tuning into today's podcast. I am looking forward to reconnecting on episode 324 of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. Until next time, choose happiness. Thank you.